Hi, welcome to Demo Garage. I'm Steven, and in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the restoration of the heater core in my 1973 TVR 2500M. So here's the box all put back together, and it was a real mess. In its final configuration, there's actually a 3-inch diameter pipe or hose that comes all the way across the back wall of the engine compartment and then forward here. And it's pretty ugly, and in a future video I'm going to be talking about figuring out a different way to pull in fresh air. Specifically, I'm going to try and pull it in from the other side. I'm going to be flip-flopping everything around and trying to pull in fresh air from that vent. It's all put back together. When I pulled it apart, it was a real rat's nest. And when I say a rat's nest, it looked like mice or rats had been living in there. Pretty disgusting. It had, you know, a real nest in there, and in the heater core was about 1,000 little sunflower type seeds. It was a real pain shooting compressed air through all those fins to clear it out. I did take it to a radiator shop and had it pressure tested, so I'm confident that it is in good shape. The heater box had some bad areas on it. I've repaired those with fiberglass and sanded it done. This is basically put back together in a decent shape, not concourse. I could have done a better job on the paint, but I am trying to get ready for a soon October 6th British car show in San Diego. So it's back together. Another issue I had was the electric motor pulling in fresh air, you know, through the heater core was frozen solid, and I was able to get a new motor and remove components from the old setup and reinstall them on the new motor, and that worked out fine. I'm going to be showing you some video clips of that. I don't know if this was the original installation of this, but you can see in a few places where little plastic rivets were used, and that's how I found this part installed originally, and so that's how I put it back together. Maybe some of you out there that actually have a 2500M can let me know if that's how the factory did it or if that was some sort of a modification from a previous owner. But here's the finished box put back together, and let me show you some clips on the different aspects of its restoration. So I'll show you that right now. Okay, so this is the blower for the internal heater. Pulls in warm air from the heater core. As a matter of fact, I've actually got a new valve to install as well. But it is frozen up. It's very difficult to turn. And I'm hoping I ordered the correct motor to replace it. I'm told it's from a 70s MGB, and that's what I purchased from Moss Motors. I'm expecting to need to drill out these rivets, and I'm expecting to need to transfer this part and maybe this part. I looked into replacing the whole blower fan and was kindly given a part number by a TVR editor named Ken. But unfortunately, those blowers just are not available in the US, and it was going to be so much money to have something imported from England. I even talked with the Spall company, so this is probably the route, well, it is the route I'm going to take. So wish me luck. I'm going to pull this motor out and do a comparison, and hopefully I got the right motor. So let me bring it back. Okay, well, this motor looks to be a close enough match. I'm going to go ahead and keep going with it, and I think this is going to be just what I needed to get back into functional order. So I'm going to start by pulling the squirrel off, the fan blades off, and then drilling out the rivets. So I'll bring you back when I got a little bit more to show you. Okay, so I've got this these two parts put back on. I was able to sand this up and rust convert it and paint it and get it riveted back on. I had to drill out the old rivets for the old motor. Something to note, and I probably should have taken a video, is that this rubber grommet right here, it does have a like a crush sleeve in there. So make sure you get that crush sleeve out of the rubber from the old motor and put that in. And then I did put additional washers on either side. This fan was a real bear to get off. Probably did a little damage to it. I've stuck some 12-volt current to it. It spins, wobbles a little bit, but I didn't feel any, true vibration in my hand. I think it's going to be fine. I don't really have a second option, but I think that's going to work out good. I'm going to do some repairs on the cage. There were a couple of fasteners that I'm going to glue back in. I've got this all cleaned up, so I'm going to go ahead and get this all bolted back up, and then I'll bolt it back into the car, and I'll start cleaning up the heater core and trying to put the box back on it. So that's where I am with this project, and I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm getting ready to button this up. I have the motor installed in on the new fan and the fan housing, and I've got new stainless steel hardware everywhere, and I've got the hood latch cleaned up and functioning, and I've got the heater core cleaned up, and the factory had stuffed some padding on either side, so I'm going to see if I can find something similar, and then I'm going to reinstall this. So I'll bring you back when I've got that done. All right. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed those clips. I forgot to mention in the opening that I have installed a new valve here, heater valve, and I am going through the car and replacing them with these a little bit nicer hose clamps. I'm hoping that, they provided a little bit more of a uniform clamping pressure, I think, than the typical hose clamps you see on everything. But well, thanks for coming along on this episode of Demo Garage, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks.